guys, day 2 of social contracts. As KVA students, one thing that I need to make perfectly clear is social contracts are meant to be collaborative. In class, we would come up with a social contract together and hold each other accountable. That's a little challenging and difficult for non-face-to-face or asynchronous learning because, well, you don't have that interaction with peers. But what you can do is you can make a social contract with yourself. And this is going to kind of lead into a few other things. But what I want you to do is take some of those questions you answered yesterday and pull up your answers. And what you're going to do is list your social contract out. I'll pull up an example here in a second. But some of the stuff on the social contract is what standards, morals, and character traits do you want to exhibit. These things are not some of the times, and it's going to be about 7 to 10 words. And the most important part at the very end is signing it and giving it a bit of accountability. And that's another trait that we will talk on and touch on for the rest of the year. So all of these things are what need to be in your social contract. And so I know that you guys are wondering, but conceptually, what does a social contract look like? And so here's an example of last year's first period. And it's a large piece of paper. It's construction paper. And as a group, we came up with all of these terms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And there is one unspoken one that is not on here, and that's no put-downs. But as a group, we came up with all of these, and this took about 2 periods to come up with. And over time, we kind of came up with the ones that we wanted, that we could kind of agree on, and kind of debated back and forth. And then we had one of the students create this, and after we created it, we signed it, and this was our social contract. And throughout the year, we would refer to it. We'd say, hey, is that being open-minded? Is that being honest? Is that being trustworthy? And this is a good way to kind of keep everybody in check. So this is what we're going to be working on, and with your original questions you answered as sentences, you want to shrink that down into words or a couple of words, and it's going to be difficult as a single entity, but what you need to do is try and see which ones are kind of the same, which ones can you kind of lump together, and if you're ones that you're really, really passionate about, then make sure those are on there. Okay, this is all going to say all of these words. You're going to have your signature here, and then you're going to have your name. You're going to have your name in social contract. And one of the keys is it needs to be yours. So it needs to be creative looking. I know some of you guys are not as artsy as others, but that doesn't matter. You can still make it creative and representative of you. That's cutting out and printing pictures, that's fine, but it needs to be you. And it needs to be neat, because if it's not neat, then it's not going to be taken seriously by you. And this sort of thing is what we're trying to get you the point across is this is a binding contract that we're putting, that, as we discussed yesterday, it's very gray. There are very gray areas with social contract, but we are putting concrete terms to it so you can start to comprehend what you are following. So that's your assignment, and you'll get 2 days to work on it, and then we will have a submission box on Thursday. So, all right, guys.